name is Ethan Griffith, and I will be talking about VJ Day in Times Square by Alfred Eisenstadt. Here's the picture. It's a very famous picture. It's been on Time magazine, it's been on Life magazine. It's marking the ending of World War II on what is celebrated as VJ Day. The significance of this photo: VJ Day marked the ending of World War II. There were 65 million deaths in World War II, and it captures the emotion felt by all Americans during World War II, or following World War II, when it was announced that World War II had ended. Who's pictured in the photo? George Mendoza and Greta Friedman. George said that he saw Friedman for the first time, spun her around and kissed her. Greta Friedman was a 21-year-old dental assistant. She actually wasn't a nurse, even though she looks like a nurse in the photo. She was out in Times Square when the news of the war ended. Here's a quote from her in 2005 when she actually came out as the woman who was pictured in the photo. She said that it actually wasn't that much of a kiss, and she said that it was just somebody celebrating and it wasn't a romantic event. The context behind the photo: Eisenstadt took to the streets. He was looking for moments to capture when news of World War II ending broke. He knew that there was going to be some great moments to capture. He saw a sailor going around and kissing every woman he could. He then realized that the sailor was going to come across a nurse who was dressed all in white. He realized that the navy blue uniform against the bright white uniform of the nurse, it would make a perfect composition, not to mention that he had the backdrop of Times Square. Eisenstadt's background: he was born December 6, 1898 to a Jewish family in Poland. He began shooting at the age of 14 with a camera he acquired from his uncle, and here's a picture of the camera. Eisenstadt joined the military at age 17. Why is this important? Because during his service, he received shrapnel injuries in both legs. This gave him time to work on his craft and hone his skills as a photographer. He went from museum to museum and studied the elements of photography such as light, composition, and exposure. Coming to America: Eisenstadt wanted to pursue his passion as a photographer. However, he didn't possess the money to properly do so. When he would take photos, he would actually have to develop them in his bathroom because he didn't have an actual black room. In 1992, he had a small business selling belts and buttons that he used to save money. In 1935, Eisenstadt acquired a Rolleiflex camera, and this is that camera. It was with the possession of this new camera that he had the courage to immigrate to America. Life magazine: Eisenstadt was hired as one of the first 4 staff photographers by Life magazine in 1938. While working for Life, Eisenstadt was given many high-profile assignments for the magazine. High-profile assignments such as Marilyn Monroe, JFK, Albert Einstein, and Frank Lloyd Wright, just to name a few. And this is actually a self-portrait of Alfred Eisenstadt himself. His style and technique: he used a 35mm Leica camera. Most of his photos were in black and white. Why was this? Well, he said that it was because that was the color of his dreams. He took a lot of photographs without having to reload the camera. Again, the importance of the 35mm Leica camera. He said he didn't have to worry about running out of film. He didn't have to worry about taking time to set up the photo. He also said that it was important not to think when you were taking photos, because if you thought, it would be too late and you would miss the shot. A few points in one of his books: some people are under the misapprehension that having the most expensive camera and dozens of gadgets is the sure path to good photography. He said it's the eye behind the camera that matters most. There's certain critiques of Eisenstadt, mentioning that he made his subjects feel at ease. He did not pick and pride his subjects when he was taking pictures of them. He evoked the genuineness and the personality of the subject in the photo. He made it a point to make the experience very natural for the people he was photographing. to make sure that the images didn't come out like they were forcing a pose or trying to force a certain look. He wanted to capture the personality. He knows what he's after. In 3 or 4 exposures, he makes a perfectly formed picture. Mr. Eisenstadt was a master of filming and composition. In conclusion, his ability to capture moments in time to tell an entire story are unprecedented. When you see his photos, you get a feeling of who the person truly was, and you feel as though you were right there in the moment with him when he took the photos, and only a true master of photography can do this. So these are my sources.